Greetings, everybody. What's good? So, this is going to be it's a super moon, full moon in Libra tonight, or wherever you are in the world. It will be on the 8th for some of you. So, I have a lot of insight that I want to share with you guys, and of course, I'm going to do a reading. It's late for some of you. For some of you, it's probably early wherever you guys are. So, I didn't want to set a specific time because, I didn't know what was going on. I had to cook dinner, and on top of that, I got sidetracked and I washed my dog and stuff. She needed a bath and all that. So, I have a lot of notes, y'all. Like, I took a whole bunch of notes. Last Friday, I took all these notes and stuff. Like, all this stuff started like coming to me, and I was like, oh shit, it's a full moon, and like everything just came together. So I'm gonna share that with you guys. But before I do, I want to open this out with a little meditation. So I've got a little something special for you guys, some sound healing and stuff like that. So I'll do that first, and then we'll go ahead and get into the insight that I have, and then we'll do some cards and stuff like that towards the end. All right. Don't judge me, I'm just getting the hang of this, but I'll give you guys a little sound healing, some singing bowl too, so. I'm in love with this. Like a little kid. I love this. It's a hue drum, or it's called a tongue drum or something like that. So my sister, one of my sisters had me on her live, and it was a guy that joined, and he was like, I just bought a hue drum, and I was like, ooh, what's that? Because I'm into like sounds and stuff. So I'm like, ooh, what is that? So I looked it up, and I like had to YouTube it so I can hear what it sounded like, and I fell in love, and I ordered at the same, like that same morning. I was like, I'm about to order this. So I got me a little one, and I'm in love with it. Getting a hang of it, but I love this. Like, I be getting lost in it, so it has so many different tones, and like, it's fun. Trying to find like a sound that like resonates. I don't know. Let's do some singing bowl. But yeah, I love these. So when I'm in my zone, it sounds good. But like right now, it doesn't. Probably sounds like I'm a little kid playing with like a toy or something. But I love this. this? I don't know. I could do this all day and forget that y'all even here. Okay. We're not gonna do that though. Okay. Just a little something real quick. Okay. How's everybody doing? Happy new moon manifesting. What's good? So, I'm gonna go ahead and share my insights. Like, it's a lot. I notated a lot. Like, Friday, I don't know, I just went somewhere and like, I got notes, okay? So, let's get into this. So, I don't even know how I got into the whole thing. How did this even happen? So, I didn't know that it was going to be a full moon until I looked at when the Passover was. So my sister was like, when's the Passover, and you know, whatever. So I looked into that, and then I looked at what the Passover was. So for some of you that are not familiar, the Passover is like a celebration of when the Israelites were free from Egypt. So I looked into that, and so according to, I believe it's a Nisan, which represents a new year. I believe in like Hebrew, it's pronounced Nissan like the car, but it's one S instead of two S's. I'm not mistaken, and that represents a new year as far as like on the Hebrew calendar. So it's technically a new year, a new cycle, and I believe it starts on the 8th. So I just went into everything, and I wanted to know exactly what type of energy we're getting into. The messages that I channeled about this particular moon, I also channeled that and wrote that down. So this is like it's so many layers to this, and I'm trying to figure out how to explain this and piece it all together without sounding crazy, or it's not really that structured. So I'm just gonna go through how I'm getting it and share the notes that I do have with you. By no means is this saying that you have to believe anything that I'm saying, or this is matter of fact. This is what spirit led me, like through channeling, through guiding to go to research this and research that, and just kind of break everything down in a way that I was led to. I'm not religious, but I do resonate with different religions and spiritualities and stuff like that. Whatever resonates with me, I resonate with it. So I'm not like in a box per se when it comes to things. So some of this stuff will reference the Bible. I look at the Bible as metaphors. I look at it as powerful words. I don't necessarily look at it as historic. But, you know, that's just my take. So like I said, this is not me trying to convince or put anybody in a, you know, like it's not none of that, if that makes sense. So I looked into all of this and I was like, okay, so the full moon falls on around the Passover. So depending on where you are in the world, the full moon is on the 7th. Passover is on the 8th. So around that time, it will be, or on that time frame. So the whole Passover, this represents the celebration of the freedom of the Hebrew Israelites. And I went into what Israelites are, because I had to break everything down. I can't just be like, okay, it's about okay, so what's an Israelite? I went into what's the meaning of all this. Like, I wanted to know, rather than what the Bible, you know, the Israelites. I looked up the meaning of the word Israelites, and it represents triumph with God. God contends. So that represents a lot. I was like, okay, that makes sense. The word Egypt represents bondage. So this is a celebration of coming out of bondage within yourself. So whether that be circumstances outside of yourself, whether that be circumstances within yourself, is coming out of bondage. This is a celebration of that. So you have the Passover, which lasts until, I believe, the 16th. And then even during that time, you have the Good Friday in religion. Some of you guys know what that is. Then you have, which is the crucifixion of Christ, right? The crucifixion of Christ, or Christ consciousness. So that's a heavy energy. I feel like that represents shadow work, the death of the ego. Then you have the resurrection of Christ, which is Easter, Estar, I'll get into that in a minute, which is on the 8th. So that represents the resurrection of self, and I'll get into what all of that means too. So I was drawn to look at what Nisan means, because Nisan, like I said, is the first, the calendar, the first month of the Hebrew calendar, right? So again, it's almost like, technically it's like January, right? Nisan, I looked into what does the word Nisan mean. I needed to know. It represents miracle, rebirth, and blossom. So that's what that means. So miracles, rebirth, and blossom. That's in itself, it's like that resurrective energy, right? So this is, I feel like this moon is very, very powerful just in itself. Not the fact that it's a super moon, it's close to Earth, like super moons is like the moon is closest to the Earth. Not even because of that, but because of all of this energy in it. So I looked into all of the events that happened under the Nisan in the Bible, right? So in the Bible, Moses parts the Red Sea was under a Nisan. The resurrection of the Messiah, which technically is happening already, right? With Easter. Then you have the story of Noah, which happened under a Nisan. Then you have the story of Esther, which I believe the exact story of Esther, the Nisan, what happened with freeing the Jews from being slaughtered by the king at that time, the king that they were under at that time. All of this happened under a Nisan. So if you go into the story of Moses and all of that, and the parting of the Red Sea, and when the Israelites, when they made it to the Promised Land, they got to, they received the fruits in the Promised Land. And I was like, okay, what's the fruits? Because the Bible talks about the fruits all of the time, right? So if you look at what fruits mean in the Bible, and I needed to look at that, they represent the spirit. It's a spirit, it's an energy. It's an energy, which is love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So this is the fruits of your labor, right? This is the energy that you get out of coming out of bondage. Remember, the Israelites are being freed
from the place of bondage, aka Egypt, into the promised land. So that in itself, if you look at it, take it out of that context and look at it as your resurrection of yourself. If that's making sense so far. And I was like, okay, what does Moses mean, spirit? So I had to look at what Moses means and all of that, because I needed to know. So Moses represents the deliverer. So more messages. So you think of deliverance, that's freeing yourself from something again, once again. This is an energy of releasing and letting go of. And I was also getting the guidance to fast. I was listening to something, I was half in and I was half out of sleep this morning, and I was listening to something. They were talking about fasting, and they were saying you hear your higher self, or you hear God clearly. Whatever you resonate with, you hear that higher consciousness much clearly when you starve yourself of the flesh, the eating. So whether you do this for a day, an hour, couple of hours, 2 days, all of that, you're emptying yourself out, and you have a closer ear. It's more of an intensity to hear and feel the power of that energetic connection. So you might want to do that at this time if you're led to. I'm not a health physician. Take what resonates with you. The second thing that happened under the Nissan, which is technically a new year, again, was the resurrection of the Messiah. What is Messiah? Messiah represents to be an anointed, right? Anointed. It's something that is pure, something that is blessed, right? So this is the energy that you're coming out of. It's like a fresh new mind. So when we talk about Christ, whether that be born again into Christ, or if you take it as Christ consciousness, that higher consciousness of mind, it's a fresh anointing of the mind. That's what I get. That's what I get from that. Also, the story of Noah. I asked Spirit to guide me to what that means. You can anoint yourself with oil too. You can physically do certain things as well, but I'm looking at this from a metaphysical way. Take what resonates. But the story of Noah was another energy that happened under the Nissan. Noah represents rest, comfort, and peace. Repose, which represents sleeping and rest and tranquility. So at this time, you might want to rest. Some of us don't even have a choice. Where can we really go? Some people are working still. Maybe you work from home. Maybe you still have to work. Some people, you don't have anything else to do. Maybe you're naturally resting a lot than normal. Give yourself that time to replenish your energy. Gather yourself, get yourself together through resting. Spiritual work doesn't always have to be hustling, bustling, and doing this and doing that, doing rituals and all of this stuff and all of prayer, whatever. Yeah, that's part of it, but sometimes it requires rest. So that's something also too. Then you get into the story of Esther, which is interesting because if you think about Esther, it sounds like Easter, right? And it also resonates with the goddess Ishtar, which is the fertility goddess. So when you think of Easter, you think of what? Bunny rabbits, and you think of Easter eggs, right? Not speaking in tongues and yelling. All of that is needed. But yeah, when you think of that, you hear Easter, Ishtar. Yes. So Ishtar is the goddess of love and war, sex, and fertility. So Ishtar, or Esther, her story was, and I got into all of that too. She was a Jew, okay? She was a Jew in the Bible. She freed the Jews from being slaughtered in the hands of Haman. Haman, this is what stood out to me. Spirit said, go look up what that name means. It means noise, confusion, disorder. So that represents the mind. Slaughtering, like, whoever was king, so whatever is ruling your mind that's causing confusion, that's causing discord and despair, this is cutting that out, cutting that energy out. That's what I get from that. This Easter energy, this Estar energy, how do you combat that? Go back again. Love, the energy of love. Ishtar is a love goddess, a fertility goddess. So yeah, this was triumph over that king. So this is triumphing those aspects, the cutting out the noise, cutting out the confusion, cutting out the despair of the mind or whatever in your life, gaining triumph. All of these cards, or not all these cards, all of these stories represent some type of story of triumph, transformation, new energy, new beginning, right? So it's just interesting. I thought it was interesting, like how Spirit broke the shit down. I was like, okay. I'm not done with Esther though. So I was doing a reading for someone today, and I pulled from one of my decks, and it talks about the 42 laws of Ma'at, or the 42 ideals. It's the laws or ideals, or 40 laws, sorry, 40 laws of Ma'at. And I thought it was interesting because Ma'at represents balance. So balance, you think about this full moon energy is in Libra, justice, balance, harmony. Libra is the ruler of the 7th house in the astrology, which is partnerships, contracts, commitments. So all of that ties into this. So I stopped at the, no, it is the 42 laws. Sorry, it is the 42 laws. I stopped out at the law 40 for the person I was reading for, and it talks about achieving with integrity. So again, it kind of resonates with the fruitfulness, right? So there's a specific part that stood out to me, and I'm gonna read it because I wrote it down. And if you guys are interested in this book, it comes in the deck. It's a book that comes in it. Says living with a feather heart, the 42 ideals of Ma'at in daily life is the name of the book. So living with a feather heart, the 42 ideals of Ma'at in daily life was the name of the book. And I stopped off at number 40, and it says, I achieve with integrity. Initiation into a spiritual practice is when a candidate makes the conscious decision to embark on an evolutionary journey to new levels of consciousness and higher planes of understanding the reality in which we live and operate. So this is higher consciousness. This is an initiative energy. So if you resonate with this, that might be something that sends out to you. It's a spiritual practice in which a candidate makes the conscious decision to embrace on an evolutionary journey to new levels of consciousness and higher planes of understanding the reality in which we live and operate. All right. Then it took me to the same card that I pulled. The same passage talked about Esther. I was like, Spirit, what? Come on now. Come on, Spirit. Come through, right? So Esther, aka Easter. She represents the East Star. East Star. I was like, wait a minute, Spirit. She represents the ideal wife and the virtues of light, power, and justice. So if you guys want to go deeper into wife and all of that in a earthly sense, that might resonate with you. But if you look at it from a spiritual sense, that might resonate with you also. But then I looked into East. East represents morning, spring, which we're in, spirit, childhood, and generosity. So I highlighted spring and I highlighted childhood, because some of this may also be part of your partnerships is not just romantic ones. When we speak about partnerships, I'm sure you guys understand that it's not just romantic. So your relationships with others start from your childhood may be something that's highlighted at this time, or maybe something that you want to look at when it comes to your healing or understanding yourself better, understanding your reality and others. But yeah, So I was guided to share that. So if you guys want to look up the 42 ideals of Mayat, again, Mayat is that energy of Libra, that justice energy. She represents the goddess of truth, justice, and harmony. The 42 laws were given to the high priests and the high priestesses in Egypt. And I'm also getting the 10 commandments of God, which was given to Moses, the deliverer. So however you resonate with this, you can look into that. But I was like, oh, okay, all right, spirit. But I almost forgot one more thing. Spirit, you took me back somewhere. So I almost forgot about the other event that happened with the Nissan too. What happened with the Nissan was the Temple of Solomon was a key thing. So the Temple of Solomon, it went under a reconstruction, and I want to get into this because it resonates with what's going on right now as far as churches and stuff being closed down, where everyone is forced to go within themselves and have that holy that communionship within themselves and their creator, outside of all the noise and all of this other stuff that we cling to. It's pushing you to go within. I'm going to get into that. So Hezekiah, the righteous king of Judah, so his name means God is my strength. God has strengthened, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I wrote down. So I hope I'm not getting it confused with Judah, because I did write down what Judah means. My handwriting is all over the place, y'all. Yeah, so Judah represents a kingdom to praise and to worship. That's what Judah means. So it does not have to be in a religious sense. It could be a place, again, where it's a sanctuary, it's a place of peace, it's a place where it's just you and spirit. That place of worship, that place of communionship, like I said, if that makes sense. So what happened with the Temple of Solomon when Hezekiah came in? He started the changes in the religious practices for 8 days. And I said, 8 days? Okay, so Easter's on the 8th, so that would make sense. Okay, so more cleansing, more clearing out. He reopened the great Temple of Solomon. Solomon represents peace. So this is clearing out in order to gain peace within self in your temple, body. Does it make sense? If you guys want to save y'all questions for later, you guys can leave comments and stuff like that. But I can't be too distracted by it because I'm already all over the place. So I hope you guys are like, you know, it makes sense. So Solomon represents peace. So that's a place of peace, a temple of peace, the temple self of peace. Solomon, the king of Israel, again, Israel represents God's, I was about to say something else. Spirit help me. Represents the triumph of God, the Israelites. But if you think of Israel, it's the same thing. This King Solomon was known for his wisdom and his wealth. He later angered God by adultery. So what that means is putting things before self. That's what that means. Anything that goes against self is adultery. Putting things and people before yourself is a form of adultery. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I got. The temple is a permanent place of worship of God. So again, that's that communionship within yourself, whether that be self-love, connecting with your spiritual team, with your divine creator. It's that place of peace within you. So Hezekiah came in and he cleansed this temple of its filth. It was not complete until the 16th. And you can find this in the Chronicles. I think it's 29, 1 through 17. It speaks of this. So he cleansed his temple, cleansed his self, cleansed his inward self of its filth, meaning anything that is not of your higher good, negative thinking, wounds, whatever it is that's holding you back from being in center and being with peace within yourself, it says until the 16th. So the Passover starts the 8th. Wait, I'm all over the place. Hold on. Easter is not on the 8th. Easter is on the 12th. So the Passover, so during the Passover, it starts the 8th through the 16th. My bad. So the 8th through the 16th. So the last day of the Passover is when it was complete of that cleansing. That's crazy. So all of this is under this full moon. All of this is under this super moon, which I believe is balancing out partnership and fellowship with yourself first and foremost, but with others in your life. Divine spirit, God, the universe, whatever you resonate with. Thought this was all interesting. So I put clearing house, all that is impure due to placing things and others before yourself and your divine creator. So this is all a beautiful project that's taking place. I don't know if that makes sense, but right now it's important to be grateful and thankful even through your trials right now, because when you do shadow work and when you do a lot, like when you're healing, it's not a pretty thing. Like, it doesn't always feel good, if at all. I mean, the results of your healing, when you level up, when you have a better understanding and you're wiser in where you're at now, once you come out of that trial, it's a beautiful thing. But when you're in the thick of it, it's not always fun. It's not always easy. So I feel like this is a process. This is all a process. So what I was getting from this full moon, this is what I've channeled. Full moon, everything in the dark shall come to light. Freedom from bondage, aka flesh, etc. It shall be a miracle, rebirths, new energy blooming. The triumph of God's glory, aka your godly nature, your true nature, when you're in your divinity. Okay, so that was a lot. So this is a very powerful energy right now. This is like a lot of energy, like releasing. I also feel like it's going to be a time for you to flower and nurture the relationships that are of your higher good, that nurture you at the same time. Also making clear judgments with an empathic or empathetic, empathetic heart. Any type of judgment that you're making most likely is going to be ruled in your favor, but again, it has to come from a balanced heart. You will receive a lot of support during this time, whether that be on the other side or with people around you, or even if it's just one or two people around you, or all of the above, your spiritual team as well as those here. Protect that which is dear to you, even if that isn't something that's accepted by everyone or may not be accepted by others. So this is again about following your truth in your heart. You're choosing yourself. It's again, idolatry, putting anything or anyone before yourself. So also it's going to be an energy of reasoning, seeing both sides to each story with an empathetic heart. Before you act, doing things before you act, this is weighing the pros and the cons of these effects, because it's a cause and the effect to everything. So again, when you think about the fruits, I don't know why I'm going back to the fruits of the spirit. Again, these energies are love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, generosity, and self-control. That came to mind again. October could be significant for some of you. I'm also getting creative pursuits and creative energy at this time is definitely a shit, I can't even talk. Definitely of importance and relevance at this time. A lot of sexual energy as well. A lot of kundalini energy. You can channel it, however you want to channel that, the little energy. So that was that. That, I don't know. That resonated with you. I was all over the place with that, but I was in a zone when I wrote it. So I'm just like, and some of my notes are up here, and then it's over here, and it connects with the writing down here. So I had to write arrows, like, okay, this goes here, and this connects with it. Like, okay, I suck at this, but hopefully you guys got something out of it. Like I said, I was guided to look at certain passages and what they meant and all of that. So that's just what I went with. So it's something about big cats as well. Because a lot of times when they talk about Judah or the tribe of Judah, it's depicted as a lion. I've been getting a lot of big cat energy, like cheetahs and leopards and stuff like that has been coming to me. It's something about that. So yeah, if you guys are into animal totems, that could be something for you. The lions represent strength, power. So you have the strength and the ability to deal with whatever this is that's coming up. Like this energy, whatever it is, and this is what I was getting at. And I know that this is something, because 2 readings so far. I did a client reading earlier today, and she reiterated something I said last night. I said, whatever this is that's going to be purged out, this is like, it's a long time coming. This is something that you've been struggling to release, or it could be more than one thing. It could be a thought pattern. It could be an energy. It could be some type of spiritual block that you've been working towards, or maybe you don't even know what it is that you've been struggling to remove, or what is that could have been blocking you, or why you didn't feel, you know, why don't I feel my best, why have I been struggling with depression, or whatever it is. Once you remove this, it's like, it's been a long time coming. You are free. Again, it's like the Israelites being in slavery for all of those years under the hands of the Pharaoh, Egypt, bondage, aka bondage, being in that for so long and getting free, going into the promised land. Again, I resonate with the story of Moses. I love the story of Moses. I was watching The Prince of Egypt for the 50,000th time last week. And the part that stood out to me in that movie was the last part when it was Ramesses, which is the Pharaoh. This is Moses' brother. Him and his chariots, his whole army was coming towards them. They were just about to get to the sea. And it was like, he didn't even part the sea yet, and they were charging at them. So the Holy Spirit had put like a ring of fire around Ramesses and his chariots to stop them from coming towards the Israelites, right? So that's when, because it always looks like some shady shit when you're about to reach that climax of that blessing. It's always gonna feel like shit, like, okay, this ain't gonna work. I don't know how this is gonna work. It just seems like it's getting worse. At that peak, it feels like it's about to get worse. So sometimes spirit, and I was, everything's just coming to me. I was watching something, I think it was TD Jakes. It was a while, like a long time ago, and he had said something like, he was talking about that story, that very part, and he said sometimes God gotta show out, and however you resonate with this, the universe, whatever, however you resonate with God, shows out just to show you how powerful and how much you are backed up, like how much you're supported. At that last moment when you just about to give up and some bullshit happened, and God showed you their God, and they're above all this physical limitation shit that you think you can't bypass. So, and I was laughing because I was watching it, because Ramesses was dressed up. He was like, he had that fly shit on. I was like, he came dressed up fly, ready to slay his brother, and the Israelites like, it's a shame, but he came ready. And that's like, you gotta think of that enemy within yourself, or the negative energies, or people that are negative around you. Like, you know, they think they got it. Like, I have so many stories where people really thought they was doing something when they were in, like, they were being deviant and trying to get away with shit and try to hurt people. And I was like, God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you allowing this person to shit on me? And then, you know, they think that they let them have their glory in his fucked upness. Let them have their glory. So Ramesses, he showed up with his, you know, fly ass armor on, and his, you know, his team. But in the end, It happened. And then even another part too I noticed in the movie too was they were almost getting, because I think they were in that for days. Like they were walking that Red Sea, because you gotta imagine, like if you look at it from a physical sense, I'm on a land and I'm walking from like this whole sea to another piece of land. Like that's a long fucking walk, but the movie made it seem like it happened within like a couple of minutes or something, but it's a movie. But anyway, they were in the middle of the sea. It's already scary. Just imagine, like, okay, there's sharks and shit, there's whales, and like I'm in some water, like I'm deep in the ocean, like it's water way above me, like thousands of feet above me. It's kind of scary. So as soon as they were halfway in, Ramesses, the fire trail moved. It was removed, and they was rushing in again. So Spirit fucked up half of the water and caught them in their chariots in the water and just killed all of them. But saved Ramesses' ass so Ramesses can watch them make it. He got to watch that. So not only do you get to see and everybody else gets to see the glory of the universe or God, how it works out, but the people that try to get one up on you and all that, and it's not to glorify that and be like, oh, haha, bitch, and blah, 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 but it's like, Spirit will show their hand. So just when you're in the thick of that and you think like, okay, I'm not going to make it. And I have to remind myself of this, because when has God ever played me? When has God ever left me out in the cold, really? Never. Like, never. Shit may have not happened the way that I thought it should have or when I wanted it to, and things not going my way. But when have I ever been left out and left astray? Never. So you got to remind yourself of this. But whatever this is something big that you're about to overcome. Because, again, going back to the Israelites, if you think about the Bible, they were in bondage and slavery for years and years. And they finally got free in the most miraculous way. They got to see the wonders of the divine, of God, the universe. Like shit shifting and moving for you in ways that you couldn't even create on your own. That the devil, the enemy, the whatever, the haters, or whatever couldn't even create themselves. So you really have to be grateful in the moment of the bullshit. Yeah. But I love, yes, that's a good point to make. Moses lifted his arms and hands in surrender. So anytime that God gave him that stick, that staff, the power is not the tool. It's the person that is in the power of the divine. The gifts, our strength in the divine, in our higher self, all of that plays a role. It's like, just like with these cards, these are just paper with pictures on them, but they're charged by the energy of the person, what Spirit's telling them. So yeah, his wand, his staff, I call the Three of Wands my Moses card, because it looks like, if you look at the traditional tarot, it actually looks like that last scene in the Prince of Egypt when he was walking with the 10 Commandments. It looks exactly like the Three of Wands. Like, exactly like he's dressed like Moses and everything, at least how they showed it in the movie. But I call it my Moses card. But like, it's also an energy of surrendering and trust, and that's something that we don't all, it's not the best virtue sometimes, trust and believing, especially, motherfuckers like me, that you gotta see it to believe it type sometimes. So you gotta trust. You gotta trust in the process, whether you believe in the universe or God, or your higher yourself is God. Whatever you gotta believe in, whatever that higher being is got you to the end. So I don't know if that made any sense. I feel like I'm just like all over the place with this message, because like I said, my notes is all over the place. There's messages coming in at the same time, so I might sound crazy. But yes. Alright. So, I'm going to pull some cards and see if there's anything else the Spirit wants to reiterate. If you hear some weird moaning, it's not nothing nasty. My brother's watching some weird-ass movie with some weird cult or some shit. I don't know. It's like obnoxiously loud. He right in front of the TV, but I don't know why it has to be so loud. So if you guys hear it, It's not porno. It's not people in my house freaking out or whatever. I don't know what they doing. This movie's fucking weird. It's disturbing. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. So I'm going to tap in and see what this energy is. So this is going to be a dope ass full moon. It may not be a cakewalk. So I told myself I'm going to fast. I'm going to fast starting tomorrow until Easter. But I'm going to do it periodically. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, that's a distraction. I'm not going to do it like straight out, just going to starve myself. But I'm going to do it in certain times and stuff like that. For me, the best time, I don't really eat anyway during the day. I might snack or something, but I don't really eat. I might do it just when I get up in the morning and like fast. It's not to starve yourself. It's not in that sense, but it's really just to clear yourself out, clear your energy out, clear your space out, be of a clear mind. I don't know. Some people find it best to meditate at night. Some people find it best to meditate in the morning. I say both, or pray, whatever. Meditate, pray, visualize in the morning and before you go to bed. I try. But no, I feel like I'm most clear at night. That's like my day. Night is like my day. It's weird. But I thrive at nighttime. And I feel like I hear spirit like in the wee hours of the night, in the morning. Like that's the best time that I hear spirit. It's more quiet sometimes, depending on where you live and who you live with. Some people be up late just as much as you. Some people be asleep. So you have that time for yourself. Or even wherever you meditate and you have that time alone for just you, God or the universe, your ancestors, your spirit guides. Like take that time out. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for your loving guidance, your truth, your clarity. Thank you for the message. Thank you for the divine insight. If there's anything that you wish to touch on in this reading that I may have not touched into, okay, I don't know. I don't think there's anybody. I didn't see anybody's name Marissa on here, but Spirit's saying Marissa. Something with the name Marissa. I don't know why. I don't know why, but that's what I heard. Let's see. This is exactly what I'm hearing, and this is weird. I'm just going to say it. If anybody resonates with the name Marissa, or your name is Marissa, Spirit's saying that you need to forgive him. This is exactly what I'm hearing. Forgive him for what they did to you. Forgive him for what they did to you. I don't know what that is, but if your name is Marissa and you resonate with that, you don't even got to let me know, but that's just what I'm getting. I don't know. Marissa, you need to forgive him for what he did to you. That's what I heard. Exactly what I heard. Something with the color blue. This person could have spoke a lot of negative things to you, said, or this person could have like talked down to you a lot. This person could have been verbally abusive, or you feel like you could never speak your truth. You held your tongue a lot. I don't know who this is for. I mean, it might resonate with other people, but I heard specifically Marissa, or there could have been a person named Marissa involved with the situation or something, but that's what I heard. Clear as day, so I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so the cards I pull, I have the Emperor. I have the Star. I have the Two of Pentacles. It has the scales in it. Isn't that interesting? You got the Two of Cups. You got the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups. Okay, it's a lot of water energy. Okay. So the Emperor card here, I feel like that represents divine spirit, to be honest. A higher force, a higher power, or your higher self. This is assertiveness. You have to have the discipline to withstand whatever it is that you are working towards or whatever you're coming out of. This isn't going to just happen on its own. The miracle comes due to the works and the efforts, the fruits of your labor. Again, the fruits: love, peace, gentleness, uh, help me remember, self-control, integrity, goodness. I can't remember all of the fruits, but due to that, and also honoring self. So I'm noticing in the star card is about hope and optimism. But you see he's offering something, or he could even be surrendering and letting go of that reef, right? This could be letting go of pridefulness for some. For some, it's letting go of the way in which whatever you're seeking to have or to find, whatever type of joy, like in the way it should come, or how, when, where, or how, or who it should come from. Also, I noticed that there's a basket of fruit. Again, that the fruits. Okay. So this ship and this boat, this is a ship coming in, I feel like. So once you surrender and you let go, that's the biggest thing. When you surrender and you let go, the ship is like, it's coming in, or the resources or the resolution, whatever this is for you, it comes in. But this is all about being in alignment. The star card is about alignment. You have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is he has this heavy bag on this end, and it's light energy. Again, it's that Mayat, that light as a feather energy. So are you heavy in energy, or are you light? And this is that weighing the pros and the cons of the energy that brings you that peace, that love, that joy, those connections that bring you this, or the heavy energy, or do I still dwell in this heavy shit? It needs to be balanced out. It's like management. I heard self-management. Then you have the Two of Cups. So this represents balance and harmony, emotional balance and harmony. So this could represent with a partnership, a romantic partnership, or partnerships with others around you. There's ships coming in when it comes to love for some of you as well, because there's boats back here as well. And they're waiting. It's like they've been waiting for this. So you guys have been waiting for some type of balance. That this does not have to be partnership outside of yourself. This could be a partnership with yourself, union within self. It's like everything comes together. These ducks are standing out to me, and I think I've picked that up. I don't know if it was a collective reading or if it was a personal reading, but those ducks stood out to me. Oh, okay. I don't remember when I said it, but I remember what I said. I said something like, if you see ducks, could be birds too, but specifically ducks, this represents something coming in. Like it's a heads up of something to come in, and prepare yourself. That's what it was. Prepare yourself for something that's coming in, because these ships, I feel like, represents being prepared for what's next to come, being prepared for what's next on your journey, or being prepared for something that's coming in, like whatever that may be. It's different for everybody, because this is a collective message, so it's not going to be the same thing for everybody. Then you have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, she also has like a plan mapped out with a ship. Can't really see it, but it's like a boat. It starts off as a little boat, and then it's like they're building, it's levels. Like it starts off as a little canoe or something, and then they start adding extra pieces in it in that next picture, and then the third picture is like a full-on ship and boat with levels and decks on it. So this is like your journey. This is everything that you've learned. You prepared for whatever this whatever this is that's coming in, you prepared for this. Like, because the Page of Pentacles is a student. They receive this pentacles. This is like, it could be anything, but it's something that holds a lot of value. But it takes time for the page to master whatever they've been given, right? Until they reach that status of being the king. The king is what has mastered their suit. So I feel like you have learned a lot. You have a blueprint of everything from this point. Like I said, it's something major with this energy. It's something major. If you resonate, yes, with Easter, Eshtar, if you resonate with that energy, whether you're male or female, look into what the spiritual, I know wife, you know, that means something in regards to marriage and stuff like that, but I believe it's a divine help. A divine helper is what wife means. So you are, this potentially is you, this next phase of your life is going to be you being sent out to assist and help other people in whatever way that is. So you have the Page of Cups right after the Page of Pentacles. So not only are you mastering things that you've been learning in your journey, in your physical reality, in your life, tangible things, but also the emotional things, the spiritual things. I can't remember. It's something like one of my sisters, she says this all the time. Something like, if you can, it's basically like, if you can handle these small things, I'll make you rule over many. How I take that is like, if you can withstand this little shit right here, I'm gonna, like, you're gonna be able to handle some, like, this is preparing you for something big. This is preparing you something big on your path, on your journey. So you had, like, the stuff that you went through, it's a lot, but it's small in comparison too. So it's almost like, I want to see if you can handle it. I want to see if you're ready. I know what the task that I gave you, but I want to see if you can handle it. So you know how, like, say you're on a internship or something, and you get swamped with all this stuff, and it's like, oh my God, I had to do all this. Like, okay, well, how come everybody else doesn't have, but you want this position? And Spirit is like, well, I want to see if you can handle this. If you can handle whatever this is that you're asking for, whether it's a job position, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is, I want to see if you really can handle yourself within it, because what you're asking for isn't small. There's something much more to it. And a lot of you, this has something to do with your purpose, I feel like. And it could be for some of you that you will have someone with you alongside of this, whether this be soul tribe, whether this be a romantic partner or mate along your journey. For some of you, it's all of the above. But the Ace of Cups is like, are you ready? If you're faithful over the small things, I'll make you rule over many. Thank you. That's what it was. Yeah. Ace of Cups. This is a divine offer. This is a divine gift. This is a divine blessing that's given to you. So everything that you've done, it's like a long time coming. Whatever this is, like, I don't know. Spirit saying, mark my words. I'm a little hesitant to say it, but that's what I heard. Mark my words. I don't know. As a result of this energy, this full moon energy. So on top of that, moons, you know, you can manifest and do different works under different phases of the moon. The full moon is a completion of something. This is the ending of a cycle. This is completing and wrapping up something. And because it's in the sign of Libra, that represents partnership. So you're clearing out old energies in regards to partnerships and relationships and how you relate to them, how you identify with partnerships and relationships, the one with yourself, one with spirit. All of that is about to transform. And we're also in the season of Aries, as fiery, passionate energy, creative energy, assertive energy. Mars, that's the warrior. So this is like fight, like this is a stance. Like what you about? What you about? What's your drive? What's your purpose? What's your meaning? What are you really asking for? What are you really after? Like, what's your intentions? And stand in it. Shit, that's what Spirit said. I don't know. I don't know. Let's tap into love, because I know you guys want to, and I'm so sick and tired of that loud ass movie. I could cut some people's arms off. Not literally, I'm not doing that, but like, what is he doing? I don't know if it's like Sagittarius people are just like they little, I don't know. Like they don't really care what they be doing. Yeah, it's Manny. He's watching some disturbing ass movie. It's disturbing as hell. Cause you know, like, I've never been, like, I can watch certain stuff that's like, cause I'm kind of fascinated by weird stuff, but I can't watch too many, like, too much gory stuff, and that movie's twisted. I can't even watch it. Alright. So we're gonna tune that out, cause it's loud. But I'm going to tap into the love energies, you guys, because it's only right. You see? It's weird. It's weird. Like the music be all like peaceful and then it like gets real dark. But it's because the stuff that they're doing. It's the stuff that they're doing. Divine Spirit, please tap into the energy of love, partnerships, and romantic energies. What is the energies under this energy that we have channeled? What is the love? Go into the love, please. Romantic, loving energy. Watching and waiting. Narcissistic, express yourself clearly. Learn through this and just for you. So yeah, whatever you've been waiting on, it's been a long time coming. But I also feel like too, with the watching and waiting, like you've been watching and waiting for something to progress in your love life. With the narcissistic card, because this comes out, this card has been coming out a lot lately. Again, I'm not getting like narcissistic outright. I feel like more so this is saying like, again, what's your intentions for what it is that you're asking for and what you're wanting. Like you have the opportunity to really get clear on what that is and why. Coffee, meeting and connecting, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. Mask, soulmates. Yeah, because you got to be authentic and you got to be real with yourself and real with someone else and what it is that you want. You have kisses. I'm going to read the cards. There's a lot of cards I wanted to come out. I don't think I'm going to take all these. This is too many cards. Okay. Spirit, if there's any other cards that want to come out. Separation. Okay. Some of you, twin flames. Okay. Duh, of course. Of course, Spirit's going to do that. You got twin flames and soulmates. For the sake of this reading, because I do not like labels and all of that, soulmate sounds much more lighter to me than twin flames does. But the sake, like the understanding of a twin flame is your you know, your joint partner, your counterpart, and soulmates are, anybody could be a soulmate, non-romantic and romantic alike. So we're gonna say, for the sake of this, the twin flame, this represents that ultimate energy, that ultimate connection, and the soulmate is the temporary connections. So I feel like you guys are in separation right now. Some of you, it's due to the fact that there are other parties involved, there are other karmic obligations involved. There's a lot of masking and hiding the truth, even from self, or that has been the case, but someone is not honoring the truth of how they really feel. And that could be prolonging the distance between the two of you. But it's really because Spirit wants you guys to both go within and really understand what it is that you're really asking for. But I feel like this can be both ways. Watching and waiting it's masculine and feminine. I do feel like a feminine is watching with all eyes. It's 144. It's 145 now. With the third eye and the two eyes, there's a lot of watching. Photograph, looking at your photos, missing you. Yeah, so there's a lot of reminiscing and waiting. Whether, I feel like this is on both ends. If this is a divine connection, Spirit always makes me read into that type of stuff, even if I don't want to. Anyway, express your love. So I feel somebody's trying to figure out a creative way to express their feelings. So there's journaling with learn through this. Someone is trying to navigate, okay, well, how do I do this? Because I feel like there's going to be a message that's either coming from you or coming to you. However, it resonates. It could be coming from you or coming to you, whatever resonates. And if you don't know just yet, then just allow things to unfold naturally, because I feel like you guys are learning how to express yourself when it comes to love, or the person that maybe you are in a connection with is learning how to express themselves. Like this connection is pushing them to do so, because there's false self-mask that both of you may have been wearing, or one of you is wearing, or one of you in the past may have been wearing, or someone could still be wearing. Either way. But someone's not showing their true feelings. Someone's trying to hide, pretends, or it's a lot of like deflecting and like, oh no, that, you know, maybe that's how you feel, but I don't know, and I don't think I'm ready. Yeah, I know I said I was ready, but I'm really not. Like stuff like that I'm hearing. I'm not getting... I can't say that it's a complete deal breaker to say if someone tells you they're not interested that that's what they say, but I'm going to say take it at face value. If someone told you that, believe them. If somebody told you that. You don't want to be chasing after somebody that told you that they're not interested, but you got to consult with spirit on that. You guys are also learning about healthier decisions and choices when it comes to love. And it's because of the different connections that you have throughout your lifetime thus far, no matter how old or young you think you are. Whatever connections you had in your life, you're going through all of those connections. And it's helping you to make a clear-cut decision about what it is that you want moving forward, or the person you're dealing with, this is what they're doing. But I feel like because you guys are connected, this is something you're both doing. It could be in different ways. It does not have to be all looking at your romantic relationships alone. It could also be your relationships with your parents, relationship with past friends, or work colleagues, strangers, God, yourself. You're looking at all of this. So I'm going to pull some tarot. I didn't get into the Kisses card, but the Kisses card says unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. So there is a desire and a yearning to like connect and be close, and to share this love. I feel like it goes both ways, like wanting to share your feelings, your love, your affection. Like I said, this sexual energy is coming up. You got sexual compatibility. I was talking about the Kundalini and that sexual energy. Assert yourself. So under this placement, I feel like with the assert yourself, that ties into the Aries energy. And I think I said Estar, she was the goddess of love, sex, and fertility. So that energy could be very potent at this time. Aries is a fire sign. It's a passionate energy surrounding your love and partnerships under the sign of Libra, the house of the 7th house, which is partnerships. Divine Spirit, go into the tarot in regards to love. Thank you. Okay, you got the Wheel of Fortune, got the Death card, the Queen of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, Ace of Wands in reverse, 4 of Cups, and the Strength card. So, I do feel frustration, but in different ways. Like, it's pink and gold. Oh, that's interesting. So for the feminine and masculine energies alike, there are frustrations there, but the frustrations are different. So it's like this fiery, passionate energy is coming from both, but I feel like this feminine energy is wanting something to just happen, something to just go. It's a lot of annoyances that are in the way, which hence why the Ace of Wands after the 7 of Wands is in reverse. So wanting things to progress and move forward, but there is things that still needs to be cleared up on the feminine's end. You know, some people like to think, oh, feminine, you guys have been doing all this work, and the masculine's not doing nothing, and da, 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 da. But really, if you're connected, if you guys are not connecting, it's not always solely because one or the other is not doing what they're supposed to do. It's because there's still work to be done on both parts and both parties' ends. It's not a blame game. It's just being in vibrational alignment. If it's not together, it's because it's not in vibrational alignment or divine timing yet. So there's still some stuff that needs to be cleaned out on the feminine ends, because I feel like with the Queen of Wands and the Strength card, this is that fiery, passionate energy, but it's also allowing things to unfold in the way that it's meant to. Kind of just falling back, not trying to over-assert your control in the situation. So the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like there is a major shift or that's happening. There's like an ego death that's taking place. Blah, 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 blah. I'm channeling too much. Specifically with the divine masculine energy, right? Specifically with the divine masculine energy, there's some type of transformation and rebirth within the self. And I feel like with the help of the ancestors or their ancestors and their spirit guides, they're wrapping up some shit. Literally, like this mummy is getting wrapped up. And I also feel like this represents some type of initiation to the next level in one's journey. So it can go both ways for the both of you. I feel like there's a shift that's taking place for divine masculine energy here. The Three of Swords. I like this card because it's like they're in a battle, or they just got out of a battle and they're tired. They may have been defeated, or they feel defeated, but the sun is still there. So even when you feel like you're at your wit's end, you're giving up and you're done, there's still some type of optimism or some type of promise or hope that maybe you can't see. But I also get with this Three of Swords, with the sun in the back, it's an illumination of the things that need to go. It's a clearer understanding, okay, why am I being triggered? It's an understanding of how to address your wounds and your healing and how to proceed, like continue to go. Masculine energies or feminine energies, I feel like whoever is embodying this with this Nine of Cups, someone is creating a map and a plan for themselves how to overcome some type of block. Whether this is happening like outwardly, like journaling, writing, or something like that. Maybe even through illustration. Some of you guys could be artistic, and that, whether it's through writing, whether it's through singing, whether it's through painting, drawing, like mapping out whatever it is that you're trying to overcome, so that you can have that inner solitude and peace within yourself, but also to know what it is that you truly wish for and desire within yourself and within the connection, I feel like. So I'm not going to say that it's only just masculine energy, but it can go, because we have both in us, masculine and feminine principles within us. Whoever is embodying this, that's what's going on. But it's some type of mapping out, whether it's just in the mind or writing it out, how to like overcome some type of block. Because there's a lion that's fighting this little, I said this, what was this in? I don't remember what reading it was. It was one of the love readings from last night. It reminds me of Mr. Tumnus and oh my god, what was his name? The lion in Chronicles of Narnia, or the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What was his name? Y'all gonna make me look him up. Oh, I can't remember his name. It was a beautiful name. I like his name. I don't know what it was. Somebody help me. Oh, what's his name? Y'all gonna make me have to look it up. My nails won't let me type fast enough. Not Kobe Bryant. Come on now. How do you, Alzon is how you say it? Him. Whatever his name is. Let me look it up, because I want to know what that means. So y'all gonna have me look it up. And I know, here's a funny thing too. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to any of my rants, but I was looking into like the history of my mom's side, the maiden name, my grandmother's maiden name, which is Thompson, and it comes from Thomas. Thomas represents it's twin. It means twin or something like that. So I looked into that. So this is something in regards. It could be that these are Mr. Tumnus, that little goat figure. It's also like a villain. It's a villain within yourself. It's your shadow self. That lion represents your higher self. Alson. I don't know how to pronounce it. What does the name mean? It means lion. Okay, that's it. I guess it just means lion. Ash, which claims that his first name is Ashlyn, is a Hebrew word referring to daybreak. Daybreak. Breakthrough, maybe? I don't know. But lions represent strength. So remember I was talking about the cats, all these cat energies and stuff like that. Tap into your inner strength, or someone's doing this. Someone may be even setting out the intentions to overcome their biggest fears and their biggest doubts in order to obtain their wish. That could be someone's desire. That could be someone's intention. So you have the Five of Swords. Again, this person is writing something. So I feel like this is making a plan of what to eliminate out of your life, out of your mind. Whatever this conflicting energy is to remove that out of the way. Then you have the Three of Pentacles. So there's work to be done. And look, somebody's writing, taking notes. So the Three of Pentacles is like, how I'm seeing this is Spirit's watching how the both of you have been handling yourselves through whatever your process is, whether it's what you call separation, whether it's in your healing process. So again, can you handle this? So the Five of Pentacles is right up next. So I do see that there's some type of progression, because you skip from the Three of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is not here. There's no stubbornness here. There's no type of trying to control things. I feel like that Four of Pentacles represents holding on to, clinging on to, no longer clinging on so tightly to each other. It's a free-flowing energy. It's an understanding that the reason for the separation is due to the fact that we still have work to do. We still have to clean out. The illness is the block, the trauma is abandonment, rejection. So this person's ill. They're sick. So this could still be something that needs to be removed and healed, or it currently is being healed, because there's medicine here. So this person is being healed in this card. So this can go both ways for feminine and masculine. So the Seven of Wands, we already got into that. Still some things that need to be cleared out. These mice, these obstacles. If I'm not mistaken, mice or rats represent obstacles. Can represent something of filth or dirt, like dirty, being cleansed out, clearing the self. So the Ace of Wands is in reverse. So I feel like in due time there will be some type of quick forward movement, but right now, looking at the Four of Cups, there's some type of distraction. Like I said, there's still some type of if it be another woman or another man, or these could be exes lingering around, or just the energy, the essence that has not been cleansed out. But someone is dissatisfied with this, like no longer able to dwell in this energy anymore of the fuckery, right? This is the fuckery. Maybe this is someone's past. Maybe this is who one used to be, or one of these women could be who, you know, the feminine could have been this type of person. Dealing with people that lied or cheated on them, where they weren't the only one, the only woman, or the only man, or I gotta have 1,000 women at once, I gotta have this one, I gotta have that one. Or it could have been degrading yourself for the sake of love. And I feel like this is being healed. Someone has their strength. And I don't want to just say this is only the feminine, because this could also be masculine energy as well, where You both found strength within yourself because you came out of this. This is fuckery. The Four of Cups. Like, the Four of Cups is usually depicted as someone that's dissatisfied, but this man seems to be like living it up with all, you know, these hoochie mamas. He's living it up. So that could have been the past, but I feel now, moving forward, there's a willingness to like extract certain things, like more so than maybe other things in the past. Maybe it was like, yeah, I only focus on this. Oh, I don't even want to touch on that. Oh, I don't even want to look at that. Now it's like, no, I don't even want shit here. I don't want nothing here. I want to clean everything up. You got to go. You got to go. I can't have this. This is clearing up baggage, is clearing up all types of stuff that was a block. That maybe this is being blocked or was a block. Like, I don't even want this here anymore. I don't even want this here anymore. Like, I want to cleanse it out. But it's going to be some shit that you don't want to see with the Six of Cups from the past. And maybe this is masculine energy because it's a man, but it doesn't have to be. Some shit that's not easy. And it could be childhood. Sometimes the Six of Cups is inner child or childhood. The Nine of Wands, again, this is taking notes. So this is going, yeah, this is inner child, because this is a young man next to an older man. So this is going back to the roots of the genesis of whatever this major block could be. For some of you, it is rejection. Some of you, it is self-sabotage. It could be anything, but it's going back to the root of the inner child, because of something that you were programmed to believe or to think or were told, and you believed it, or it stuck with you. Now you have to remove yourself out of that. Whoever resonates with this. There's a lot of swords here. Actually, it's not a lot. There's only two. You got the Five of Swords and you got the Three of Swords. You have two fives. So I feel these are energies that need to shift. So this is cutting and releasing people and things, or this could even be different aspects of the self that are being cut out. And this is taking note of and having understanding, because someone is wanting to remove anything that blocks them from their true happiness. Therefore, it's a clear understanding, like, okay, if this is in the way, it's like saying to yourself, okay, I have a plan that I want to lose such and such pounds. So you start a diet plan. Okay, well, I'm going to eat such and such this, and I'm going to eat this type of meal, only such and such calories at this time, and I'm going to exercise such and such amount of times this day of the week, blah, blah, blah. You come up with the plan how to do that. So you start cutting out the things that don't serve you. That's where the discipline comes in. So I feel like that's what this represents with the Nine of Cups and this Five of Swords. It's the elimination. So I just got lightheaded. Somebody is clearing some shit as we speak. Yes. I don't know. I just got lightheaded. And I feel like somebody just freed themselves of something. Something fucking heavy. Whatever that was. I just felt lightheaded. And usually when that happens, because something heavy was just lifted off of you. I felt that shit before. For myself. Like when I cut somebody out of my life, immediately when they walked out the door, my energy felt lighter and I almost fainted. That's how light I felt. That's what I just felt just now. So, I'm going to turn this Ace of Wands upright because, you know, we do want some forward movement, some inspired action and stuff. When Spirit says go, though, Spirit has not said go just yet. That's why this was in reverse. But it's almost time, because Wands, it don't take long. It's a short period of time. That ain't going to take nothing but a second. So, yeah. Whew. That was interesting. I'm lightheaded still. Whatever that was, Ashe. Much love. Send you guys some love. Alright, I enjoyed that. Much love as always. I appreciate you guys. If you guys would like to book me for a personal reading, especially during this time, under this full moon, or during quarantine when you're just, you know, it's a good time to reflect and go within yourself, you guys can hit me up for a shadow work reading or any reading that you need. Check out my website. It's in the description. read all of the details and stuff like that, so you know before you give anybody your money, know what the deal is and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys would like to follow me on Instagram, it's Walu Child Readings on Instagram as well. I will catch you guys soon. Much love as always. Happy full moon manifesting. Until next time.